It is Crazy Quilting March. Hi friend, how are you on Sunday? Sunday the 29th on our calendar, and this is a fun day besides the prompt or the challenge for today. I also have April to talk about, so I'm so excited. So I worked on it all yesterday, all day, so everything is all set up. But first, let's do our challenge for today. So on the list, it has watching. So your challenge for today is to tell me, either in the comments here or over on Facebook, Instagram, tell me what you are watching when you quilt. Do you like to watch quilting shows? Do you find them on YouTube or reruns? Do you watch some sort of a series, movies, documentaries? What do you like to watch? And maybe you don't watch anything. Maybe you just sew and you listen to something. But there's a lot of you that have televisions in your sewing space. I've seen them. So you probably have something running up there. I have a friend who likes to run things that are old series because she kind of knows what's going on with them. She's heard them before, and so she just sort of more listens to them. She doesn't need to actually watch them because she kind of knows what the episodes are. I like to listen to things where I learn or basically watch things that I learn something. So often I will find somebody who is doing, recently I found people doing sort of historical type of YouTube things where they have either like main history, or like a lot of them were doing garments, and they were comparing garments from today, or like what the movie had, was it period accurate, period accurate. I just thought those were really interesting. So that's what I have been watching lately, some shows like that. Okay, so that is your challenge for today. So it's an easy one. Just have to tell me what you like to watch when you're quilting, if anything. Maybe what you want to watch. And go through the comments. You'll finally find some new stuff to watch. It'll be pretty good. So I have got on the website, yay! So excited to get that done. I have our April calendar, yay! So you can download that April calendar today. Plus I have a bonus sew along for April. Several of you mentioned this, and I really love the idea of sewing a simple block a day. So I'm calling it the Stay-at-Home Quilt Along. There we go. So I've got a pattern, and there is, well, there's the coloring page, but here is the whole quilt, which will be 48 by 60, and we'll make 30 blocks for the 30 days in April. And it's a simple block, and the whole goal is to use some really fun fabric. Like, go through your fabric and find things that make you smile every day. 30 pieces. These are 6-inch finished blocks, so 6.5. Let me show you the mock-up that I did. So this is the block that I made for my first one. It actually won't be my first one. I'll probably put it on the label or put something else on the label, whatever. It'll be one of the 30, or it'll be the label, because I want to really do them every day. I think that's kind of a lot. It's a fun way to celebrate. I guess, or remember, maybe celebrate's not the right word, but remember our stay-at-home month of April. Because more than likely that's what we'll be doing. So I kind of wanted to start it way back, but I didn't get it together. So now I have it. And what I decided to do is, let me move this here. I'll show you what I started out with, because I have this fabric bundle that came in, and a lot of it is what I would call like a novelty prints. There's some novelty prints in it, interesting prints. So let me show you this. Let's just go down here a second. There we go. So here is this bundle, and it is called, and you can still get this, the December Ruby Society bundle. So it has like these gorgeous hedgehogs, and what's great is you can see that They fit in the 6.5-inch square. Then there's some tonals. There's some dandelions, which, by the way, my garden has dandelions right now. Yes, they're coming up. Then there's some more splatter tonals, and then my strawberries, my favorite thing. This is my ironing board cover is made up like this, you know, totally cute. Some more tonals, and pink tigers. Pink tigers, you can get a whole block of pink tigers, and this is my favorite. This might have to be April 1st, my block, is the octopus. Oh my goodness. And then there is the fried eggs, which just make me smile. I just think they're the craziest things ever. So this is a bundle that I decided that I will cut one from each of the novelty prints in there. And that will be, you know, whatever it is, 6 days of blocks from there, and I'll use those companion prints. But what I'm going to do is keep these companion prints. There's a tan and a pink and a blue. So there's a tan, a pink, and a blue. And I'm going to keep all of those as the sew and flip corners, so that those fabrics will stay the same. And I think it's a fat quarter, so that's plenty from 3 different fabrics. You only need, and I give you the yardage for, you know, everything like the sashing, and you know, if you want to do all your corners the same, I give you the yardage for that. But that way you can go through your stash. You can go through and say, you know, do I have enough of this? I'll, you know, use it from there, and then you can use up what you have. Now this does have, these are sew and flip corners. So when I'll just hold this like here. Okay, so this was like this, right? And then I cut this away and flipped up the corner. So that's the sew and flip corner. Now these I'm going to keep. And I went ahead and sewed one together, and I was able to just squeeze this out as a 2-inch square, which would be 1.5 unfinished. 1.5 finished, 2 inches here. But depending on how well I cut, and I had to cut kind of a narrow seam allowance, these may end up being 1 7/8 unfinished. So I'm not sure what I'll do with them, but I'm going to sew them all up. I'm going to use them as start and finishes as I do the other blocks, so that I will have all those little triangles, and I'll either do a little mini quilt, or maybe I'll make a little block and make a table runner to go with the wall hanging. So, but you can make more than 30 in April if you want to. If you get on a roll and you're like, and you want the quilt a little bit bigger, the quilt is, what did I say? It's 48 by 60, and that's with the 3-inch finished border on it. If you wanted something a little bit bigger, you could just make another, 6 across by 7 down, or even a square, 6 by 6, to get a little wider. You can play around with that, but personally I want to make just have one block to represent each day in April. Now, because March I went and did sort of a take on the madness stuff. I did Crazy Quilty March. We're going to call it April, what did I write down? I forgot. April activities, but I'm thinking April activities. So it's AA, the April activities. So that's what we have, something for every day. Now back to the sew along, back to the stay at home sew along. If you have like I showed you this fat quarter bundle. Layer cake. If you have a layer cake, this would be great for doing your blocks. Totally enough, way more fabric than you need to do 30 blocks. But it would be fun to use, and if you wanted to do a bigger quilt, you could do these. We're basically doing a modified snowball block, if you're familiar with block names. But there's no points. So when you see here, when you sew this in, these do not come to the middle. So there's not going to be a point. It's going to be, let me just fold it over a 1/4 inch. It's going to be like this at the top. So there you go. So it'll be this sort of flat, open snowball, which is very forgiving. And by the end of the month of April, you will be a whiz at sew and flip blocks. And also there's other fun layer cakes and fun fabrics out there. So like this one is a sewing themed line that just came out with Tula Pink. And look at these sewing machines. Here is the 6.5, here's 6.5 inch square. So it definitely fits right over a sewing machine. So you could get some of this if you wanted and make it a sewing themed April stay-at-home quilt. I think that would be cool. You could do a holiday theme. So if you've been always wanting to do a fall, maybe you have some fall fabrics, or Christmas, maybe you have Easter fabrics that won't be ready for Easter, but you have it for next Easter. So you could do that. Lots of fun options. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I did have to mention Big Bird. I got 2 borders on Big Bird. Let me just lift that up. There you go. So I did get 2 rounds of borders.